Right, greetings and salutations. I'm Sarah Jane Cruickshank, and I am terribly excited tonight because I do have the incredible IML top educator Adaeze Duncan with me. She is an inspiration to women, to mums, to Forex traders because she has done it. She has cracked the code to trading. She's cracked the code to entrepreneurship. And thank you so much for joining me today, Adaeze.
Absolutely. I'm so happy to be here.
Excellent. And you just got back from the gym, haven't you?
Yes. Yes, I did. Thank you.
This is it, you see.
Yeah.
Mums living the dream, going to the gym, looking after the kids, trading Forex.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you trade on a Friday, Adaeze?
Do I trade? No, I don't like to trade Friday. Not Forex on Friday, no.
No, me neither.
Not crypto or Forex on Friday.
The markets can be a little bit slow and not great.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So not only are you a top trader, you are also a mother of 4. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
And a wife to Rashad?
Yeah, that's my husband.
Busy. So you're always
very busy. Yes, always. And a dog. Let's not forget my dog.
A dog. See, that's important because they're harder work than the husbands.
Yeah. The reason I even bring the dog in is because when I finally get to sit down and I'm minding my business, then the dog comes in and is like meeting me, just like the kids. And the dog acts just like the kids. She doesn't see my husband, just like my kids. They all come to me for something. We can be in the same room and the dog will come to me to be fed, to be let out. I'm like, do you see him? You can, you can go to him too. So yes, 4 kids and a dog.
So now this is what I want to know. Do all of them suffer when it's drawdown time?
Yes, because they all come to me. They all need me for, oh my gosh. Yes, they all. My husband has 2 wives, he says. He has drawdown wife and he has profit wife. So,
it's the same with me. It's like when my husband would come home and I'll be in like a bad mood and he'd be like, it's drawdown time, isn't it? And I'm like,
Just because it's drawdown doesn't mean you got to be like, yeah, woo! You know, you got to recognize what it is and bear through it.
They understand now. They know just to stay away, just until that goes blue.
Mine are too small. They don't get it. My husband gets it, so he'll try to save the children. Y'all come away from mother. Let's go over here. Let's go outside.
Yeah. They're always in trouble, no matter what they've done.
Doesn't matter what they do. They bring a picture. Look, get that out of here. I don't want.
Not good enough.
Get that trash out of here.
I'm with you there. Yeah. Right. So tell me a little bit about your background and how you were a teacher, wasn't you? You were a teacher.
You
went from being a teacher to a Forex trader. How did that happen?
Isn't that funny? This was not on my radar at all. Look at my camera too. This was not on my radar at all. Like I was a teacher. I always loved teaching. And I just felt like, man, I love teaching, but I wasn't in love with my job as a teacher because, it just wasn't, my passion just wasn't being stroked enough there, if you know what I mean. and I felt like I kind of had, I totally plateaued. When you're young, you want to go to college. When you go to college, you want to get a job. Now that you're in your job and you realize that this is the move up process, like I didn't want to be an administrator. I used to want to be like a college professor, but then I realized that it's pretty much the same, same thing, same treatment, not great pay. So I'm like, that dream died. So my whole desire to move up went away and I plateaued and I didn't recognize it until, just my whole attitude about teaching started to change. But I just always know I was passionate about that. Now, my husband, we had decided to join iMarketsLive, and I was excited about the idea of just learning how to trade because I was like, I was done with people. Like, I'm just, you're a teacher, you deal with people all day. I'm like, what? So I can just kind of learn trading off in the shadows by myself? Yeah, sign me up. And you mean I can learn to make money and not have to talk to people? Oh yeah, sign me up. And so that was appealing to me. I'm a nerd. I call myself a professional learner. That's what I do. And so my husband, he likes to talk to people and me, I was kind of done with people at that moment, at that time. So I started to learn it. I learned how to trade. I started to learn, IML had these really great products. And, one of them was the London session where you got to like sit with an actual trader and learn how they read the market. And then they came out with more educational tools. And I started to get good at it. I won't say good at it, but I started to see the potential. Like I started to learn, my progress started to show, and I could see the huge potential. And I became really intrigued by the market. And I saw this as a very viable way for me to learn, like something to really invest my time and money into and pour into myself. And I began to like my job less and less, and then where I used to spend much time putting together lesson plans, like I'm showing up to work with no lesson plans, like, oh shoot, kids, we're going to watch a movie today. Where I used to be about the kids, no phones in my classroom. Now it's like, kids, go on and get on your phones. This Duncan, will be right with you. And I'm on my computer looking at charts, So I knew that this couldn't continue. I started to actually make money while I was at work. And one day, I was up like a nice high amount of money. And the principal came into my classroom because they do little periodic walkthroughs and she just happened to have like a parade of principals. And they all came in my room, and I'm like, oh God, I had to close my computer and act like I was teaching. And then finally when she left, my account, like all my money was gone because I wasn't able to monitor that particular trade. And it was at that moment I'm like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. It's over. This principal's messing up my money. She messed up my money. So I said, because I saw the potential, even if I wasn't at the point, like just the peak of ultra consistency, with the other awesome opportunities that IML gave us, we were into those. But me, I decided that, I have reached a place where I've plateaued at my job. This is not something I'm passionate about. But this learning, this market, I see potential here. And I felt like, I had always wanted to quit, but this was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. I was ready to quit once I found this, and it gave me the courage to just go ahead and leave. So that's how I got into Forex.
So before you got into IML, did you have any trading experience at all?
I didn't even know how to pronounce the word correctly. I was like, fork, like forks,
Yeah.
Forex. Okay.
So did you learn how to trade from IML? Did the IML Academy, was there an IML Academy when you joined? Was there that sort of training?
Not quite. Like I learned a lot of my training from the London session, from watching other traders trade. And then, at that time I started to do a lot more research, and I started to work more closely. We had a nice community of people. So when I came to iMarketsLive, I knew nothing. I didn't know. In fact, I didn't even know this market existed, like, believe it or not, and I think maybe a lot of people can believe it, because when I talk about it, it almost sounds like, it sounds scamish, because it's like, most people don't know about this. Anytime you say that, that's the start of the scam. Most people don't know. Most people have heard of the stock market, but most people don't really know about the Forex market. Now, I think the crypto has come and put, different exchange markets, foreign, currency and whatnot on the map more now, but most people don't know about Forex.
Yeah, and I think what I find as well is when I talk to people about it, they kind of got this kind of stereotypical that it's men in suits shouting at screens. They've watched Wall Street and they've watched Leonardo DiCaprio, and they think that's what it is. And I'm trying to tell people, I'm a mum at home and I trade Forex, and they go, you do what? I'm a trader.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Yeah. I trade from my phone, and they're like, seriously? No. What's the catch? What? And they say that, don't they? What? Why? How
scam.
Money? It's a scam.
Right.
And it's like, no, this is real. I'm learning. I'm not there yet, but I am learning how to trade.
You're on your way. Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't believe that I am doing something like this, and it's so empowering as a woman.
It is.
Because it's just incredible. And what I found when I first looked at it, Paul Turner showed me it, and I said, Paul, I don't know anything about maths. I can't trade. I've got no idea what you're talking about. I'm looking at that chart and it looks like a heart monitor. What the hell are you telling me to get involved in? And he said, no, honestly, they teach you from basics to even what the word means to how to trade and make money. And I was like,
yeah,
can't be. I can't do that. I can't do that. And he said,
right.
yes, you can. And when I joined and I started to go through the basics, it made me realize that, yes, I can do this. The education is so good, and it breaks it down into bite-sized chunks that I can learn at my own pace. And
Right.
I've been with IML a year, but
Awesome.
I'd say I'd only been trading for 6 months. I was on a demo for 6 months because
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, and people would say, get off demo. And I'm like, I'm not ready yet. I'm still learning. And then I came off demo and I was then trading real money, and I made the most ridiculous mistakes. Even though that I was crushing it on demo, suddenly it was very real.
Yes.
But every time I made a mistake, I learned not to do that again. Sometimes it took 2 or 3 times that mistake, but I've learned not to do that again. And now I am pulling profits from trading every week, and I've replaced my income that I was working in a job just from the trading side. And if I can do this knowing nothing about maths, Forex, I just believe that, this is wide open to anybody that wants to learn a new skill.
Absolutely.
And it's just, to see somebody like you who's just like, as well, who didn't know nothing about Forex, and now you're an educator, aren't you? You actually educate people how to trade. I mean, how did that transition come about? Is that just because you're teaching?
Well, it was mostly, look, there's the Bible talks about how your gift makes room for you.
Yeah.
And like I said, my initial reaction was, oh, good, I get to learn to trade off in the shadows, away from people, because I just had it up here with people. I taught science for 10 years. I had to deal with the politics of being a teacher, with the administration, the government, all that. I was done. What? I can do this. I ain't got to talk to nobody. This is great. Sign me up. And so at the time, this was before the academy came. We had, we used to have like team meetings, where teams would just kind of come together and just do basic trainings for people, because at the time we had the academy, but it was Christopher Terry, at the high level, so you come in not knowing anything, and you called it, looks like a heart monitor thing. I called it like a geometry class meets algebra. I called the little tick marks jiggy jaggies, like I didn't know. And I'm like, what is this? I hated geometry, so what is this? People drawing butterflies and bats and stuff and flags, like what is this? This is geometry. So they were trying to find a gate, like a nice little gateway to like bridge the gap between Christopher Terry and his high level stuff and someone like me who knew nothing about Forex. And so now, me being myself, I'm an educator. It's something I'm passionate about. I was fine, like, I asked somebody, hey, just like you tell me what I need to go, like, where do I need to go to get this information? Because I learn at a totally different pace as everybody. So just let me know and let me get out of here. Because the pace that they were teaching, I was like, this isn't. And then the way, because not everybody is a teacher. Like, there's a huge difference between someone who can give information, we call those lecturers, and then someone who can educate. And those are people who are patient, they're passionate about what they're doing. They want people to get it. Like, you don't have to know anything. The educator will get you caught up. But if you're dealing with a lecturer, you will be totally lost if you didn't do your preparation ahead of time. And so I was dealing with a lecturer, and it was annoying me. And so that's why I was like, hey, let me just give me what I need to go. Let me go find it. Let me go figure it out myself. So one day he was sick, and or something happened. He needed someone to fill in for him, and this wasn't like his thing that he liked to do. He just kind of stepped up because it was needed. So we really appreciate him. But one day he wasn't feeling good. My husband volunteered me to do the basic training, and I was like, oh, honey, I'm not. So I did it, and people were like, who is that? Who did that? And I was like, yeah, okay, that's how it's done. And then I went back to my training, and then so my uplines are like, hey, can we see if you can do trainings like once a week? So I told my husband, again, remember, I'm tired of people. I said, look, I'm going to give them 5 weeks. That's it. Because I know how this goes. If I start training, then they're going to want to use me up forever. And so I'm going to put the deadline on this now. So I said, look, I give 5 weeks and y'all find somebody after 5 weeks. I'll give you 1 day a week and I'll do it for five times. So, 3 months later, I'm still training. I'm still doing it. People are loving it. I'm loving the fact that people are loving it, because when you spend years teaching a bunch of people who don't care, they don't want to know what you have to teach them, they are not interested. And then like when you get on and you start feel like people are really, learning from you, like I couldn't get away from it. They got me. So I always say that my uplines tricked me. My husband and them, they all tricked me. And so because of that, because they, knew Chris well, they told Chris and Isis about me. And so he saw my trainings, and because they were getting ready to start IML TV. He was actually working on it. And so when they went live on that, then they got me on, and that's how I got on to IML TV. So yeah, the person that didn't want to deal with anybody and wanted to just learn to trade off in the shadows away, now I train and I go all over the place teaching people. So.
Well, it's fantastic, because not only are you using your gift to teach people that want to be taught now,
want to be taught,
obviously something that you're very, very good at. So, and you found your thing, which is fantastic. I mean, I find it very easy to listen to your teachings.
Thank you.
And it does help me absorb the information really, really well. So I really appreciate your teaching. So thank you very much. And I think anybody could come in to IML knowing nothing, and they could start with your basic training, and it's just so easy to grasp. It's just made so accessible for the everyday person to trade, and it's just incredible. So what I want to know now is, how do you juggle your work-life balance? I mean, what's a typical day in the life of Adaeze Duncan?
Well, it varies. It really depends on, from a trading standpoint, it definitely varies, because some days I'm not trading, and some days I am. Like, I'm very much in. So like I might be watching, the market, or my favorite pair at the time for several days, and then when I see a setup, then it's like, okay, all in now, watching this, that full alert. So it doesn't matter what's happening, kids or no kids, like I have to be monitoring that trade. Yeah. But then there's the days where I'm not trading, but I'm monitoring. So I'll, look at my phone, or I look at my computer. That's where I do all my markups. I look at the computer, I set my alerts, and then I do a lot of enrichment, because, this is why this is not a scam. It's really not a scam. This is not a get rich quick overnight thing. But this is a skill that you are learning. And so the majority of my day I spend enriching myself. They bring out, like, I'll rewatch videos in the academy. I rewatch, like, you learn so much. And the fact that you don't know anything, you're learning that stuff through with a limited perspective and a limited experience. But to go back once you have experience, or like you said, to go back after going live and making mistakes, to go back to it again, you're going to get even more out of the stuff. So I researched that. I like to read books. So I spend a lot of my time enriching myself when I'm not trading. That's from the trading standpoint. Now, when I have kids, when I have kids around me, like, trying to make sure I establish time where, when I'm not trading, and I understand that you might have stay-at-home moms, because they got kids all the time, So there has to be, like, I have to teach my kids, and I'm going to actually be homeschooling my kids starting next year, and I'm trying to train them now. Like, there has to be a period of independent time, independent play time, independent, so where you don't need to, because look, moms, I don't know if I imagine this is across the board all around the world. Children have a way of making you feel like crap. The guilt that they can pour
the guilt
on,
trip.
guilt, like, because you feel like you have totally abandoned them because today you couldn't give them your full attention, or even 2 days, or God, a week you haven't given them very much attention. They are like, Mother, why have you forsaken me? And my children, they do a good job, but I have to tune that out. Seriously, like, I do. like you have the ability to learn the skill. Like you can call it going to IML school. You have the ability to learn the skill, you know, and you're going to need to constantly feed that. And you're going to need to constantly like build that. But it's so worth it because when you know that you can replace your income, that you can like, I mean, you can probably replace yours and your husband's income. Like there's no probably. You can with time, dedication, and patience. You treat this like it's, I mean, a lot of us went to school. I went to college. I wish that I put that time and expense that I put into the market or into school. I wish I would trade everything to switch that and put all that time and all that money and pour that into this market. Because once you learn it, you got it. You do. You got it. You know, we learned perseverance.
It's not going anywhere, is it? That's the thing.
It ain't going nowhere. It's just getting bigger. And the coolest thing is there's always new people coming to the market. New people means money for you. Once you learn it, because new people make the same mistakes, you know. They all make the same mistakes, but as you get more like once you progress into this market, then you start learning how you can use those mistakes to your advantage.
Yeah, and it's so what I find as well is it's really boosted my confidence as a mum, because when I had my children, two little ones, 6 and 4, you know, I was at home and your brain kind of turns to mush, and I wasn't thinking of anything, you know. I wasn't thinking of education. I wasn't trying to learn anything, and I was just kind of getting through every day. And since I found IML and the education, it's like I'm back. You know, this is me again. You know, it's like,
you're human. This is you
something.
before you had kids. Oh my God, I can relate. Look, I can sing with the best of the children's songs. Like I got all the songs. And I got kids the same age as yours. I have a 6, a 4, I have a 1, and I have a 16-year-old. I got them all over the place, you know. And I can understand. Like I watch TV. The TV. Like now, I don't watch TV. Like if I watch TV, it's YouTube, and it's something to do with education. It's educational. Like I said, I am big on my enrichment time, whether it's personal development, spiritual development, or educational development. Everything that I pour into myself, because what moms have to realize is your kids are going to grow up. And what are you going to do? Why not let them grow up and you have been developing this amazing skill that actually makes you money? This is not just a hobby where you're making baskets and, you know, those are cute, making, you know, whatever, painting. You're actually learning how to make money in the financial, crypto, whatever market. And when your kids are grown and more independent, you're going to get bored because you're not going to be the rock star to them anymore. And they're not going to guilt trip you. In fact, the guilt trip is, Mom, get out of my face. Like, Mom, why are you in my space? Mom, get out of my room. And you're going to need something to do. So why not develop this skill now? Why not? You know?
Definitely. And it's just what I can't believe is that I'll sit there now and I'll look at one of these charts that I used to look at a year ago, not even understand what these things were. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I need to put some fibs on that. Oh, look at that. Like, there's these things coming out my mouth, and I'm like, what am I saying now?
Do you, let me ask you, do you talk technical analysis language, like just regular, like I talk to my husband and sometimes I'll get mad or I'll be like, babe, I'm sorry I acted like that. I had a little retracement. You know? He's like, babe, as long as you don't go past the 61, we can move through this. You know, we have these little conversations that incorporate tech language. It's so funny. It's like become our life.
Me and my husband are having like an argument. I'll say, I'm just going to put a stop loss under that because that's not going any further than that.
Yeah, you just totally took my whole stop loss out right there. Just blew my account. Had me. Don't make me blow this account. That is hilarious.
God, it's mental, isn't it? But it's just, I love it. I love it. Right, so let me see what other questions I had. So I want to cover with you today. The other thing was as well is this whole thing about the mindset behind it, because that's something that I struggled with at first. I realised something about myself that I didn't know. I am greedy. I am emotional. I am just, oh my God. And I discovered that when I went live, because I was just like, that money's going up. That's my money. That's my money.
Let's get that money. Or how much more money can we have? Oh.
Let me put another one on there. Let me just put another one on there.
Yeah, let's keep just adding to them. That's hilarious.
It really is it's not only a journey in education, but it's a journey in your head that you
oh my God.
can really rein yourself in and say, no, I need to, if I'm going to do this, I need to do this properly and, safely. And one of the wonderful things about the IML Academy is how they teach you how to do proper risk management. And I bet 50 to 100% of people don't even go there. They just say, right, I can do this. I
I got it. I'm good.
Yeah. And it's not until their account goes down that they go, oh, actually, maybe I should go do
maybe I should go check this out.
But I think you need to go through that. I think sometimes you need to go through that big loss to realise what you did and why you can't be doing things like that anymore, And once you get there and you've got your head in the right place and you've got your charts in the right place and you know what you're doing bloody hell, this is amazing. It's amazing. And it's just so powerful, isn't it? It's
very powerful. To be honest, like I even say, because I have people who ask, they want help. And I have two questions. One, have you gone through the IML Academy, at least the basics? That's question one. And two, have you lost any money yet? And I need those both to be yes. I need you to have lost some money. I want to talk to you until you've lost some money. Because if you haven't lost, and look, loss is not always bad. Sometimes you got to lose yourself. There's my dog. Sometimes you got to lose something to find something, or you got to lose some money to find yourself. Like you said, I recognize, because people talk about greed. I'm like, I'm a generous person. I give. I'm not greedy. And it's not that kind of greed though.
No.
It's not. It's like a gluttonous. It's just, I don't even know. It's like just a little inside monster inside of us that just gets real, like, But I would definitely say, like, I need people to have lost, because once you've lost now, and look, I'll tell you this, as somebody who's, I went through the academy and I did the academy, but as somebody who's done that, my mindset has changed. You notice that when you demoed, like you were good, you were making money, you're making progress, and then you went live, and then you started making mistakes, and then from those mistakes you started to learn. To be honest with you, I actually feel, and like this, maybe people may or not, you may, I don't know, we'll see. I feel like I just don't feel like demos were necessarily made for new people. I actually feel like demos were made for people who've been trading.
Yeah.
And I feel like newer people can demo with like $50.
Yeah.
But small lots, small everything, whatever, small $100, something that they are not married to, something that if it blows away, they're not going to run away. They're not going to need, to therapy, or anything. It's not going to disrupt their marriage. It's not going to, their house isn't going to be taken away. But something because I think that had I had contact with that version of myself earlier, I would have begun to work on it faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just feel like demo for new people is probably $100. Like that's demo. Because like you can demo, I do believe demoing, you should definitely demo an account. The reason why I say I think the actual demo with the fake money is more for experienced traders is because now you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
You know how you act, how you respond. And now the demo is more for like strategy purposes and not, because, we can all play around when we know it ain't real. We more so get mad when you win and it wasn't real. But if you lose, you're like, oh, well, thank God it wasn't real.
Yeah, but it's such a different mindset, isn't it? It really is. When you trade real. Yeah. Because you put that against, like, oh, that was my shopping. It's just gone. That's just gone. And it gets real. So the reality of trading, what I really want to put across is that I'm not going to hype up trading. It's not like this is a get rich quick or anything like that. We are keeping it real here.
Very much.
Skill that you need to go through. You need to go through the journey. You need to learn. But once you've come out of that journey,
it's so worth it. Super empowering.
God, yeah. So what would you say to anybody that was looking at trading, but they're really doubting it and they're really sort of, thinking that it's a big scam and, they're thinking, how the hell can I ever do this?
Well, I'll say you've hit on some great things. Both you and I, we didn't know anything about it. I didn't know the market even existed, like seriously. So of course, the fact that I didn't even know it existed and now it exists. But the funny thing is, it doesn't now exist. It now exists to me.
Yeah.
You know. So for people where it is now existing to you, just because you are now finding out about it does not mean it's a scam.
Yeah.
The very fact that you have to put effort into it, you have to like, it's a skill that requires learning, a very worth it skill. Some of us know stuff that doesn't do anything for you. Like, you know, you got a skill and it does nothing for you. No empowerment wise, it does nothing. It doesn't put no money in your pockets. You know, this right here, the fact that you have to learn, the fact that it does take some work. You know, it ain't hard work, it's education, and you actually working not on a skill, but my God, you are told. I feel like trading has made me a better person because, and I mean that because it's taught me about myself. Like, there's things, you know, maybe your friends see it, maybe your family sees it, and there's no way to communicate it to you. But when you're face to face with the market, and now it's just you in the market, and things go wrong, and the way you react or the emotional roller coaster that we go on, it's like, I am emotional. I am greedy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I need help to kind of, or even the perseverance. Like, when you lose money, like, to not quit, to not stop, to understand it. This skill is super worth it. And it's like, once you, like, you have wins along the way. But the nice thing is you're progressing. The fact that you can look at a chart now and be like, oh yeah, oh, I think I see a great setup. Oh, that's money right there. Yeah. Like, before, you know, a year ago, it looked like a heart monitor to you. You know? So imagine where you'll be even a year from now. You know, you're going to start to become consistent. And that's why I said, if you're, you know, we're talking to moms, especially moms with small kids, you know, moms who are married or moms who are not married. At one point, your kids are going to grow up and you're going to need something to do. You know, why not use this time? Because a lot of times we're givers. We put all of our attention, all of our love, everything. We sacrifice ourselves for them, and then they leave us. You know, and they even leave us in the teenager years. They don't want to have nothing to do with us. We don't know anything. You know,
and
why
then what
not?
are you gonna do? Go back to the supermarket and work behind a checkout because that you've never, you
don't know what to do now.
Yeah,
you're bored. You don't know what to do. Why not learn the skill? Why not learn the skill? Understand how to make money in the market, any market. Why not, instead of when they leave, instead of you going to work at the store, you like own the store, or you know, you're shopping at the store because you know how to just go into the market and make money, like just like that.
Yeah.
To just be able to make money from your phone. Like, I train people and then I look at my phone and I have money just like that.
Yeah.
You know, and the time that, you know, I actually got upset. And I hate to like use figures. I actually got upset one time because I made like $900 in about it was, you know, I had been looking at this trade for a while. You know, I put a little conservative amount in, and then within a few, like, this was the time when the market was ready and I was not watching it at that moment. And I come back in my phone, I have $900. And I was actually mad about it because because when you got the skill and you're like, I know what I would have done to that. Like, with the skill, when you start learning skill, you start having strategies. You know how to really maximize the market. And so I actually got upset. Someone had to check me and say, do you realize that $900 is what it takes you to make it 2 weeks? You're mad that you just made that on your phone like that. Wouldn't that be a skill that you want to learn? Like, or cultivate. Cultivate is the word. Wouldn't you want to cultivate that now? Wouldn't you want your kids to know that now? You might as well be the guinea pig and run through this and then cultivate. But anybody who has dedication, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. If you want this, you can do it.
Definitely.
You have to want it first.
Definitely. And the one thing I remember was really funny. My husband's a builder, and you know, my aim is to retire him. I want him off the building site. I want him, you know, because his back's giving out and all that. And there's one morning I'm sitting there and I'm watching this trade, and I put the trade on, and within, I think it was about 20 minutes, I'd earned on that trade his day rate for what he's charging his customers for the day. And I was like, You don't have to go to work today, darling. It's all right. That's sorted.
I got you, babe.
Hello from the UK. Yeah, no, it's great, and that's my aim now, is to retire him so we can enjoy,
Wow.
you know, life together. And he wants to learn this, you know, he wants to do this as well, and my children are learning it. My little Noah comes in and he looks at the charts. He goes, "Oh, mummy, that's a good one. That's going up. That's going up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And it's like,
look at him.
He's 6 years old and he can do a swipe trade, and it's like, wow. Can you imagine his future if he grasps this at 6? There's, you know, the sky's
and they can grasp it because they're not attached.
Yeah, it's
a game to them.
Yeah,
that like kids, it's even better. Yeah. They're not attached. They don't need money yet. So if you can't even do it for you, definitely do this for your kids. Learn it for them. Learn it so you can push it over to them.
That's it. That's it.
But that's awesome. You have a strong why, and that's actually very important. Like you wanting to retire him so y'all can enjoy life together.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a strong why. So, I mean, I don't know about having strong whys with scams. I don't know about scams where I have to put effort into it. Most scams that I know promise me stuff without me having to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You know, you get 100% return just by putting in $500. Like, really, 100%? Awesome. Woohoo. I don't do anything.
And this is real. This is how it is. This is the reality of trading. You need to learn this. This is something that you will educate yourself. You will empower yourself. And isn't it actually really, really cool? This is what I find really cool. I'll be in the playground with the other mums, and they're all talking about, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm doing this, I do that. What do you do, Sarah? I go, oh, I'm a trader, a Forex trader. And they go, what? What's really
cool,
that? Isn't it? It's like really cool.
Yeah.
Forex trader.
Some of my, hey, you know, I make money from my cell phone.
Yeah. Like, oh, I've got a trade coming in. Hang on a minute. You know?
Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I got to close out this little $900 trade real quick. Okay, what were you saying?
I just got that profit in there. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think I'll go to the supermarket now.
Yep.
Spend that. You know.
That's hilarious.
Amazing. So this is, you know, IML have made it accessible for anybody who wants to learn a skill to be able to learn a skill and to be able to be profitable with that skill. But there is a learning curve. There is a learning curve. And
anything worth doing.
To, you know, better yourself, educate yourself, you know, get your brain working again.
And you can do it from home.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to cost, like, you know, college, I paid a good amount for that. This, my goodness, like I said, I would have reversed it in a heartbeat. And a lot of women, they go to school just to go home and stay with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then you never put yourself to use. You never build up any type of experience to get any kind of hiring. And let's be real, like, you know, in the kind of economy we have, at least in the economy we have at this time, you know, when your kids leave, you may not be what they want to hire at that time. And the way jobs are going now, it's becoming even harder because most things are becoming more automatic. So
everything's being taken over by a robot, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So any type of way that you can learn a skill that can like learn you to not only empower yourself, but also learn how to make money. Something you can teach your kids. You know, I don't know very many scams that you can pass on to your kids.
No.
You know? So, you know, I just don't see it. Anything worth having is going to be worth working for. And the thing I like about this is you're always a student. You're always learning. You're always, like, every year is a different level for you.
Yeah.
Every year. Like you're at a totally different step. Next year, I expect it to be even, you know, as long as you persevere. As long as
God, yeah, it's going to happen because I'm just, I'm so absorbed with it all, and I'm enjoying learning again. Which
you're enjoying, yes.
I wasn't enjoying learning. I didn't want to learn when I was at school, but now that I'm, you know, in my 40s, I'm like, I want to learn. I want to absorb information. I want to grow my brain, and this is the best opportunity to do that, and to retire my husband, and for us to be financially free. And the good thing about our group as well, we've got the Ninja group, and we have got the most incredible support in there. So if anybody's having a bad day or they've got a problem, we are all there together. We are on a journey together, and it's just been so incredible. So
awesome.
I want to thank you so much for joining me and having a little chat.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, it's been brilliant. Really lovely to meet you. And, you know, thank you and congratulations on your huge success. And
Thank you. And same to you. Congratulations on your huge success. Really.
Thank you.
Always appreciate and celebrate where you are at all times.
Yes.
Because, yeah, we're moving forward. So congratulations to you. And your why is amazing.
Thank you very much. Right. Bye, everybody. Don't forget, check out the description in this video, because that's where all the information is. That's where all the magic happens. No point in messaging me and saying, I want more information. It's all there. It's all there. All right. I'll see you on the inside.